everyone. Hope you're all doing fine in this pandemic. Wish you well. Our subject today is about fear of Islam, and I'm going to prove how phony it is as the past. Ever since 9/11 and the famous voluntary unprecedented lapses of George Bush the son, a real crusade was launched against Islam, covered by what they called war on terror, creating and orchestrating ISIS and series, with Tony Blair of England adamantly led with such coalition of New World Order or law and order. Tony admitted his big mistake too late to be useful. Bush regretted. The whole world witnessed events and consequences meant to him for a purpose, which is decimate Muslims, destroy Islam under the eyes of the world, because the majority of this world participated and told, Arabs and Westerners alike. Our beloved Emmanuel Macron was maybe not even polling yet. I mean, then, in 9/11 time. Today he's playing the game of maybe final phase in war on Islam, since Islam to Westerners mean simply terror. Disseminating another chapter of adversity from the perspective of we're civilized, you're not, we know, you don't. So the verdict was a few days ago or a couple of weeks ago now, that Islam is Christ, is what Macron said. Well, let me tell you, Mr. Macron, and Westerners along with you, that Islam was in crisis. I mean, or I'm talking about true Islam, the heavenly Islam, the God-made Islam. Of course, I'm not talking about the Islam, the one that the Westerner identify or recognize or promote and so on. Actually, Westerners, Europe and the United States and North America countries and all those people, together agents and mercenaries, of course with some Arab agents and mercenaries are mainly Muslims, Arabs, but there are some non-Arabs. They are all brainwashed, okay? They are all brainwashed by phony, sacred jihad concept to fulfill their objective. Now, those helping hands, as I call them, the agents and the mercenaries and even countries, nourished Islamophobia, being fundamentalist, following false Islam, and corrupt religious fatwas from so-called religious authority, authorized by no one, especially not by God. We don't have really religious authority in Islam, actually. According to Western statistics, radical Islam and fundamentalist causing terror are not even 1%. They are less than 1% of the world Muslim population. That is almost 2 billion people. So Mr. Macron and company need to alert themselves or be alerted by someone not to ignore the discriminative policy for so many of Muslims nationals, encouraging them to join radicals and fundamentalists, because those host countries, the Western countries, are treating them as second or third class citizens, always unequals to locals. And yet they claim that they are a free country and promoting freedom of speech and equality and blah, blah, blah. I say to Mr. Macron and company, start fixing your home problems before you occupy other countries in pretext of fixing those countries. Please. Finally, Islam prevailed through history and will always do. It is made to prevail. For reasons I mentioned and did not mention, we need to purge our heritage. We need to purge the heritage of, not of Islam, the heritage of the centuries that brought to us some culture which is negatively understood or probably negatively, I would say, read and addressed and written and so on. So we have to purge that heritage and redress the course of understanding Islam rightly. Because I do believe that most of the Muslims and non-Muslims, they really don't understand well the verses of the Quran the way they should. Now, this needs a comprehension of the verses and within the context of its book, we call the Quran. Now, then I think we're going to live with the problem, trying to deal with it one way or the other, but we expect that the world will not give a chance to Islam. Islam doesn't give a chance. Islam is there to stay, is there to be received and accepted and implemented by whomever he wishes or she wishes, uh, but at least to treat Muslims, okay, equally like they do for their citizens, especially the, those Muslims who live in the Western world under their rule of Mr. Macron and the rest. Thank you.